Shalom. Call hello Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakaha Kudash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. The 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like those heathen. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this is gonna be this is a spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this movie, it's extremely spiritual with those who have spiritual eyes to see. Outside of the folly, the woman worship, this little chick can defeat, a dragon that hordes of armored knights could not defeat. But and with the queen, the women in this role were so outspoken in a time when that was clearly not the case. But nevertheless, let me open with this scripture. The truth is coming out, and a house divided cannot stand. And basically, what this is Esau against Esau. Basically, Amalek versus the rest of Esau. The rest of Esau being mainly the European Union, or you can mirror that to the European Union, NATO versus Babylon, because eventually NATO and Babylon, the dragon, is going to turn on the damsel, which is that whore that's set upon the dragon, which is America. So let's open with this one, and this is Mark 3 and 25, and it reads, well, I started at 24, 23, and he called unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? All right. And this is letting you know that Satan is not a mythical creature, but men. All right. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Kingdoms are ruled over by men. So Satan is the adversary. All right. And the adversary to everything that's righteous is Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. They are the Edomites. All right. And a house divided, a family, a race of people. All right, a house divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end. I mean, even here in America, we're on the verge of a civil war. Satan, the Edomites here in America, the ruling class people, the people that are first, are rising up against their leaders, which are completely ruled over and controlled by Amalek. I watched a video that I planned to do a lesson on earlier, where one of the British parliament members came out and said that the banks had rule over the government. All right, we, the men of the Lord, have been telling you that. Even some other the heathen been telling you that. I mean, the Federal Reserve controls policy here in America. But in this movie, you had a group of Edomites that inhabited an island, and it just so happened that a dragon lived on that island. And they went to the dragon's lair to kill it, and ended up killing its young. So the dragon annihilated all the Edomites that did this to it, and the king swore that he would bring his daughter. She spared the king and said, your pain will be death is too good for you. Basically, you're going to bring to me your daughters, 3 every year. Three daughters, all right, and I'm going to, eat them, kill them, or whatever, sacrifice them in the fires. And that's basically what happens in this movie is that this royal family lures girls from other kingdoms and other places, and then they do, this. Matter of fact, before I go any further, let me go to Wisdom of Solomon. Because they don't consider other people, especially the commoners. All right, so this is Wisdom of Solomon 2, and I'm going to start at verse 5. And it reads, for our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no return, for it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again, which is a lie. All right, that whole YOLO, mythology, that YOLO false narrative, all right, which has been pushed. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in our youth. So they use poor creatures like this young lady, who I actually admired. I watched her in that show Stranger Things when she was just a kid. Now she's totally a young lady. She's turned out, and I forget her name, something Bobby Brown, Millie Bobby Brown. All right, she's an extremely good actress, especially for someone as young as she is. But she's turned into a young lady now. All right, but the meager or the meek. Well, they're not the meek at all, the Edomites, but people who are simple people in this present current evil kingdom that we all are dwelling in. They mean nothing to the elites. All right, but it says, "Come, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in our youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is the portion of and our lots in this. Let us oppress the poor young righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs or the aged. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth." And that's how they look at everyone else, including their own. Because what Amalek has done is hid behind this anti-Sem fraudulent narrative and basically hogged the blessing from the rest of the Edomites. Hence the reason why there's so much tension between them. And your average KKK member they know that that who the Amalekites are, and that they're claiming to be the people of the Lord is a fraud, and et cetera, et cetera. And that's complete division. Even when you're looking at the left or the right, the Dems versus the Republicans, the North versus the South, the West versus the East, the heterosexuals versus the alphabet community. They're just divided on every turn. Okay, and it's only the stupid Christians who cleave on to this whole to the fact that these people who hate them and hate Christianity and hate their Christ and try to say that those are the people of the Lord, and that's only because of a racism, because they don't want to acknowledge the facts and the truth with the Bible and what the relics prove to you that the Lord was clearly not a pale person, neither was any of his people. All right, but they continue to push their false narratives. But moving on. What they do is they take these girls and they have a mock marriage, and they do the whole cut the hand and you hold hands, and then they cast the young lady. The groom carries her as if he's gonna walk away with her, but he drops her into the lair of the dragon, where the dragon smells the blood of that family that wronged her. All right, and then devours, kills, sacrifices the bride. All right. And so this battle ensues, and and there's so much that happens, and the girl finds all these hundreds of names that are on the wall of all the brides who were cast down and everything. This is because when the event that I told you in the beginning, by the time it gets to the young lady on the screen, it's centuries later. So it doesn't tell you how many, it just says centuries later. So it could be, more than two or more. All right, so it's name. So her family has been doing this for generations, taking strangers, doing a little blood ritual. Esau loves to deal with blood. Since he has not hated blood, that's why blood is going to pursue them. All right, and the way she saw the names written on the walls, because these glowworms that actually could heal, because the light heals and the light is the truth. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Isaiah 8:20. And it reads, "To the law, to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because it is no light in them." All right. So these glowworms actually healed because she got burned by the dragon in the first encounter, running from it. All right, it burned her leg, and she collected up these glowworms so she could see in the dark. And when she fell asleep and it hit in a little place where the dragon couldn't get to her, uh, the worms got on her. She woke up and these worms were on her. But when she began to wake up and panic and to try to put them off of her, hey, be quiet. She realized that they were actually healing her. So the light heals. So she began to put the worms on all her wounds and it healed her. Right? But the thing is that Esau Edom is going to pay for everything that they've done. So during this battle, as things are going by, I'm just jotting down scriptures like, okay, I got to bring this out. I got to bring that out. But it's all going to come to an head because what Esau tried to do, matter of fact, let me get numbers. By faking the blood, and you know how they play with, how they say that you're who you are through your mother, all these lies that are not biblical and that was never used throughout history, in the past, especially during the time of the Dark Ages, the medieval times. Your bloodline was always the house of your father, all right. And prior to that, it was always the house of your father. So let's get that. Numbers 1:18, and it reads, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. All right. So by doing this little slit of the hand and mixing their blood together, tossing the girls in the thing, basically what they were trying to do is a replacement theory, like Christianity does with the Israelites. Like, Vocab Malone pushes, who's been solidly quiet on a lot of very important points, especially when the shame and embarrassment is cast upon Christianity. He has nothing to speak about, if he never does any correction on the wickedness that's done. I still haven't seen him do a video about T.D. Jakes or anything that's happened in the Catholic Church with the Pope or anything like that. That's because he's under a 501c3 charter. So, he really can't do the word of the Lord anyway. He has to please the government. Who's hired? Who's more than likely who's hired him? And it's Amalekite controlled government entity who has hired and paid him too. Of that I'm sure. All right. But so they were trying to do this replacement theory. Okay. But look, E is not going to get out that jam because the Lord is going to jack y'all up. This is Lamentation 4 and 21, because that dragon wanted vengeance on these people. All right. And it says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughters of Edom. He will discover thy sins. All right. Because these royals, this royal family, that was doing this trickery, these lies, that will be the least today. The scriptures promises you that the first shall be last, and the last shall be. That the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. It tells you that in Matthew. Matter of fact, let's grab that. Let's go to Matthew. 20 and 16. And it reads, so the last shall be first, and the first shall be last, for many be called, but few are chosen. All right. So though that be speaking about, Israel, but there's the scriptures are manifold. And right now, and who's first in this society is first off is Edomites, and first and foremost among the Edomites is Amalek. Amalek is the first of all nations, which is how you know that they're all around. They're still here, right? The Edomites are still here, okay? Because remember, Psalm 63, the Lord returns to a world that's controlled by Edom. And Edom is the so-called self-proclaimed white race, okay? And the Lord's going to annihilate them with the Israelites. Okay? This is Isaiah 47. I know, relax. You know, he don't like it when it rains. He be tweaking. All right? This is Isaiah 47 and 13. Because, once again, they were counting on, you know, their little trickery, on their little blood thing to work for them. But it's not. All right? It says, and this is Isaiah 47 and 13, and it says, Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now thy astrologers and stargazers and monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Because what happens is the girl's father realizes what's going on, and he comes back and goes back to the cave, to the gigantic cave where this great dragon lives, and tries to rescue his daughter, and had, you know, 3 of his men with him. They all die. The father dies in battle, you know, and pleading for his daughter, and dies in battle against this thing. And then the girl, you know, tells the dragon, as the dragon is trying to hunt her, she's hiding, they're speaking back and forth, that she's not one of these people, that she's been lied to as they have been lied to. But the dragon in his anger is still trying to attack and kill her, until the dragon actually realizes, and then she knows the little battle ensues, and, you know, and she tricks the dragon and makes it burn itself. She stabs one of the dragon's eyes out, and then makes the dragon finally shoot his fire, and she jumps out the way, and it curved and went back. She shot it against a rock that was curved, and it shot back at the dragon and wounded it. But then she oh, and I forgot to tell you that the royal family went snatched up her younger sister and brought her sister and did the same thing. And she tried to tell her, what you're smelling is the blood of this family, but they're not of them. All right, because she's like, and the dragon's like, you're one of them. I can smell your blood. I can smell your royal blood. She's like, you're not smelling our blood. You're smelling their blood. It's on us. And so finally, after, when the dragon is lying there wounded and dying from the wounds that she gave it, she tells the dragon the whole story, and the dragon hears her. And then the dragon says, well, then end it. You know, so while the dragon is wounded, she's like, well, go ahead and finish me. And she doesn't. And she goes over to the water and pulls out all the glowworms and put them on all the dragon's wound and wounds the dragon. So now she has an alliance with the dragon, because the dragon now believes her and believes that she's not, because the dragon wanted the daughters of the king. Not that she tells her, you've been slaughtering hundreds of innocent people, hundreds of innocent blood. To make you think about all these soldiers who come back and like light themselves on fire, and, you know, and all the videos that they try to, you know, all these hundreds of soldiers who've all spoken against the government that they fought for, you know, fighting over for drug fields and profit, and killing civilians and not killing soldiers, and all the lies is told in the media, etc., etc. Hence the reason why they want to shut me down, shut down my channel, and silence us for speaking these truths. All right? But these elites are going to be destroyed. I mean, you think about the whole book of Obadiah, you know, and basically the dragon came for him. All right? So let's go to Psalms 148. And it was beautiful watching the royal family get melted, and the queen's gold crown melt into her skin, and she be destroyed, just like the fires tell you, when their eyes sink in their socket and their tongues melt within their mouths, because that fire is coming to Babylon. All right? And though the majority of the royal families around, you know, of the Edomites, the elites, they're going to be the first fruits of slavery, promised, thus saith the Lord. All right, because they're going to hide in their caves and their holes in the ground. And then when the Israelites come down out of the chariots, when the kingdom of heaven comes down to earth, as it tells you in Revelation, when Jerusalem comes down, they're going to gather them all up and put them in chains. All right, so let's go to Psalms 148. And I'm going to start at verse 5. All right, and it reads, let them praise the name of Yahweh, for he commanded, and they were created. He have also established them forever and ever. He have made a decree which shall not pass. Praise ye Yahweh from the earth, ye dragons and all the deeps. All right. Notice it said ye dragons. Fire and hail and snow and vapor, stormy wind, fulfilling his word. Mountains and all his hills, fruitful trees, all the cedars and beasts and cattle, creepy things and flying fowl. The kings of the earth and all the people, princes and all the judges of the earth, both young men and maidens, old men and children. So all of the elites, all of the elite Edomites and the elites of the other nations who have these $1 billion, $100 million bunkers, because the ones here in America, their bunkers are going to be their tombs. All right. But the ones that got the bunkers everywhere else, all right, you're gonna get the gods of the earth, who are the Israelites, when they get redeemed back to that godlike states, when the chains of darkness are taken away from them. In 1 Corinthians, when they're changed within an instant and get those new heavenly bodies, okay, they're gonna come and get you out of those things. All right, and you and all your whole families and everything that you have, you're gonna go from riches to rags instantly, immediately. All right. It said, "Let them praise Yahweh, for his name alone is excellent. His glory is above the earth and heaven. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, the children of all the people near unto him, praise ye the Lord." So you're going into chains, man. All right. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Psalms 149 and 6, it reads, and I'm going to start at verse 5. Verse 4. "For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hands, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of irons, to execute upon them the judgment written. This is an honor, have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh." All right. So all the people that are first right now are going to be last very soon. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakahak Wadash Kwam Yasharala Shalom.